Howdy everyone, and welcome back to The More You Grow. Sorry I've been so absent over the last few weeks. I've been super busy trying to finish up graduate projects, trying to end the semester, take a few finals. It's coming down to the end of the semester. I've only got one more to go. I finished with my master's in December and I'm done with college forever. So excited to move on, do some more things. But I thought this would be a good time to go back on all the things we've done over the last few months. We've done a lot of cool things. We've had grocery store growing, we've had other projects, and I thought I would give you an update on how everything's doing, how it's progressed over the last few months, and then talk a little bit about what's going to be coming up this summer now that I'm going back home and we got a lot of things to do on the farm. So let's go check it out. All right, so let's start off this episode with our very first episode, and by far our most popular episode of grocery store growing. So I'm in the greenhouse where my mango is, and I forgot it's at the far end of a bed where I can't reach it. Good planning, Eric. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna zoom in on it, give you a little closer look, and I'll talk about it as I go along. So just to give you a closer look, I'm gonna zoom in here a little bit. But over here we have our mango tree, and it's actually having a little bit of an issue right now because we have thrips in the greenhouse. And if you don't know what thrips are, they're little insects that are a pain in my side because they like to kill everything we got. So we're working to get rid of those, but other than that, the tree is looking good. It's got a nice trunk on it, and soon hopefully we can get that grafted to get some nice mangoes on the tree. And while we're here, next to it, we have our number 2 grocery store growing video right here. That is our avocado that we grew from a pit, and it is doing absolutely amazing. I can't believe how good it looks. Okay, so y'all got kind of a 2-for-1 deal there. Y'all got to see the mango and the avocado side by side. They're doing okay, they're doing great. We're going to take those and get those grafted soon so we can get some fruit possibly. Mangoes and avocados both take a very long time to go to fruit from seed. And even when you get fruit, you don't know what quality it's gonna be. It could be awful. So by grafting it, we can possibly get some fruit and some good quality fruit. When that happens, I'll be sure to update y'all. So let's go on to the 3rd episode of Grocery Store Growing, the Mammy Sapote. Okay, so we have our Mammy Sapote here. I would say that it's doing okay. It's not doing the best. It's kind of got either a humidity or a little bit of fungal problems happening here, but it's hanging in there. It's doing okay. I wouldn't say it's as vigorous as some of the other plants, but not bad. So I would still recommend giving it a shot. It's a fun plant to grow. It looks nice, and it might do better for you than it's doing for me. You never know. You just got to try and find out for yourself. So let's go on to the next episode we had, and that was our ginger. Here we go, guys. This is some ginger that we grew from our harvest video. If you remember, that was 15 pounds of fresh ginger from 1 pound of grocery store ginger. That's an amazing conversion. I still highly recommend that if you love ginger, either for medicinal reasons or for cooking, give it a shot. Try to grow your own. It's very easy to grow. Give it a few requirements and it's a happy camper. If you look behind me here, we also have our large containers of ginger. These here will be transplanted out into larger containers here soon. And when we harvest again, I'll give you another update. So let's go on to the next video that we had on our list. This year I showed y'all that seed are not the only way to start a tomato plant. that if you have pest-free, disease-free, healthy tomatoes, you can take cuttings and have a fast established tomato plant way quicker than from seed. And I want to give you all an update on those cuttings that we did. These are our pineapple tomatoes. I think I called them watermelon tomatoes in the previous video, but they're pineapple tomatoes. So this is the ones we have in the greenhouse still. We planted most of them outside. I'll give you an update on those here in a week or two when I get back home. But I just want to show y'all that they're doing great. They're a little bit not happy right now because they're in such small containers. If I were to size them up, they'd be a lot better looking. But I wanted to prove a point that by doing these cuttings, you can have fruit way earlier in the year than if you did it by seed. So just to prove a point, your cuttings can still make fruit. So let's go on to the next video. Next up, we have our pineapple plant that we grew from a grocery store pineapple. All we did was take the top off the fruit, plant it out, and as you can see, it is doing great. These were the original leaves down here that were on the fruit, and it has grown so much since then. All this is new growth on top, and here in a year or two, this will produce its own fruit. Yes, that means if you plant a grocery store pineapple top, it will produce a fruit eventually. It may take longer in some cases than others, but it will produce a fruit with the right conditions. And of course, when this does, I'm gonna bring y'all along. We'll compare it to the fresh grown pineapple compared to a store-bought pineapple. So that's gonna be fun and something to look forward to. So let's go on to the next video. The video that we did after our pineapple was our dragon fruit, and this was one of my absolute favorites. Dragon fruit. I love the yellow dragon fruit in particular, and that's what I have here. Look how beautiful these little yellow dragon fruit seedlings look. Here pretty soon I'm going to be taking these out and I'll be separating them, giving them their own containers so they'll grow out more, and hopefully in the next few years these will start to fruit and we'll get our own homegrown dragon fruit. That's going to be an awesome day. So the next plant we have is our star fruit. How well they're doing. This is a beautiful little tree, and one of my favorite things to do with it is it's considered a sensitive plant. So if I touch these leaves, hopefully you can see this on camera if I hold it still enough. Maybe? Yeah, there they go. It's hard to see on camera probably. But if you touch the leaves, they fold down. That's pretty fun to me. I always like to just kind of go out there and see what they do when I touch them. See if we can see it. Look at that, folding straight down. So what'd you think about that, you guys? Isn't that awesome that this plant responds to touch? Adds an extra little awesome element to it. But what I want to do is when this tree gets big enough, I'd say about pencil width diameter, a little bit more, I want to graft this with a variety that produces really good fruit. I want to get some of that awesome homegrown star fruit. It's so floral, fresh, fruity, tropical. There's so many things to describe it. Juicy. If you eat this, you're gonna want like a towel in your lap. You're gonna get covered. One of my favorite fruits. So I'm so excited to get this thing to produce and to keep going with it. So now that we've gone through most of the plants from grocery store growing and how they're doing, I want to update y'all on a few of the other things that we've done in other episodes. One of the things we did were cuttings. How well these elderberry cuttings are doing. They're doing so well, in fact, that I might be able to go plant these out as soon as I get home. That'll be really fun. And speaking of cuttings, I also have here the fig cuttings that we did. Look how well they're doing. I know Texas Dad will be excited about that. He loves fig trees, if you didn't know. The figs are doing great. We have Alma and Celeste figs here, and I think they're gonna be doing really well to where we maybe can plant them out closer to this fall maybe. And one of the failures that we had, well, not really a failure, but a learning experience. I don't think there's really any failures in gardening, just learning experiences. The pomegranates did not do well. I don't know if we got them in the wrong stage of growth, that they just really didn't take off that well. So they're not around, unfortunately, to be in this update, but they didn't do so hot. But that doesn't mean we're gonna give up. We're gonna try again because we're gonna be growing some pomegranates out of the food forest. And just so y'all know, I haven't forgotten, I'm still gonna do update videos on the flower garden, the potatoes, the other recent videos that I did. We're gonna go home and do some gingerbug sodas. I didn't have a chance to do that while I was here at college. Dorm room kitchens are not made for making gingerbug soda videos, apparently. Found that out. So we're gonna do that when we get home. We've got a lot of other good things coming up. And speaking of when I get home, let's talk about what's coming up this summer. So the question is, now that we're wrapping up this semester and I'm going back home for the whole break, what kind of plans do I have for this summer? Let me tell you, I have a lot of awesome ideas that I think y'all are really gonna like. The first one being, we need to build a greenhouse. We have all this land now, but what we need is something to start all these plants to put out in the field. I could maybe go buy transplants, but that's gonna get expensive. So I have to have somewhere where I can start all these seeds, and that means building a greenhouse. I'm gonna change some things up in the backyard situation, and we're gonna make it happen. The next thing is, we're gonna start on our food forest. I've had this plan for a while, and we're finally gonna have time to get started on it. We're gonna start with working on the soil. I'll show y'all how to get y'all soil ready, make sure it's all up to par, get the soil ready to be covered. We'll work on things like that. And actually for this semester, for one of my grad classes, I had to make a design, and I decided to work on designing my food forest. And that thing turned out to be 20 pages long, 6,700 words. So we've got a lot of great ideas going on for that food forest. And we've got a lot of other things that I'm gonna leave as a surprise that are gonna happen this summer. So if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you have any more questions or you want me to show anything from previous videos that you'd like to see a little bit more on, be sure to leave that down in the comments. And if you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel and go check us out on Facebook and Instagram. And until next time, I hope you'll join me right here on The More You Grow.